Hello there. Why are people turning to the Labour Party when they know that they have a WEF Davos lover as a leader and an open borders mentality? So last night saw a massive swing to Labour in 2 by-elections, with the message for Starmer's Labour Party being, the country is ready for socialism, ready for higher inward net migration, ready for an even faster sprint to net zero, ready for more divisive inclusivity. Do voters really believe that by punishing one arm of the UK uniparty system while rewarding the other arm is going to send a message other than we like what you're doing to us? And what worries me is that many will sleepwalk into the polling booths at the next general election without reading the Labour Party manifesto and understanding the ramifications of them getting into number 10. But in the Tamworth by-election, the Reform UK candidate Ian Cooper achieved 1,373 votes in 3rd place behind the Conservative candidate, with 5.3% of the vote, so getting his deposit back. Now, importantly, that 1,373 votes was marginally larger than the gap between Labour and the Tories of 1,316 votes. Interesting. But behind Reform UK in 4th place was a party called Britain First. Ahead of UKIP in 5th, the Greens in 6th and the Lib Dems in 7th. That might raise an eyebrow or two. But on Wednesday this week, a Tory MP stood up in the House of Commons and spoke, shock horror, about the concerns of her constituents. And all she got for her troubles was chuntering from the opposition benches, because she was obviously not supporting the right sort of people. The MP in question was Jill Mortimer, the MP for Hartlepool. And in today's ultra-woke environment, she decided that it was time to put her head above the parapet and speak for the silent majority. Here's what she said at Wednesday lunchtime's Prime Minister's questions.
Speaker, on Sunday, Terence Carney, a 70-year-old Hartlepoolian, was murdered by an asylum seeker. The people are afraid and angry. Every week, my office is besieged by asylum seekers. My staff are intimidated by young men. The fact is, most of them are illegal migrants who should be expelled. My thoughts and sympathies are with Mr Carney's family and friends, and all my constituents affected by this heinous crime. However, sympathy is not enough. They deserve action, and I am demanding it. Will the Prime Minister take action? Will he make sure enforcement is delivered? Will he ensure that people who have no right to be here are expelled? Enough is enough. I want these people out of Hartlepool now.
Mr. Speaker, as my honourable friend knows, I'm unable to comment on cases which are currently before the court, but can I join her in expressing my sympathies to families affected? And I would like to reassure her that this government is doing everything we can to tackle illegal migration and the harm it causes by removing those with no right to be here in the UK. We have excellent long-standing relationships to return people to many countries. We are returning thousands of people more this year than we have done in the past, and we will continue to use every avenue at our disposal to ensure that it is only this country and this government who decides who come here and not criminal gangs.
But the noises from the opposition benches told the story that they believe Jill Mortimer should remain silent for the sake of diversity. Now, where have we heard that one before? It seems that the Labour Party is less concerned with what ordinary UK voters think and more about what the woke so-called intelligentsia churn out. The WEF Davos brigade, for example. Those that believe in fully open borders and all the rest of it. Those that are locked into the net zero programme of mind-bending control over our lives. Yes, the Tories are bad, but Labour is going to prove much worse. And all that this red failure to blue failure, back to red failure and back to blue failure flip-flopping does is fall neatly into the hands of the Klaus Schwabs of this world. Neither of those parties really want to increase the wealth and well-being of us ordinary folk. If they did, they'd actually do it. And we'd be seeing a measurable difference over time as our lives got better. How long now since any of us felt in a better situation this year than last, or the year before that? But everything we see both parties intently pursuing are designed to reduce our rights and reduce our ability to lead a fulfilling life, other than, you will own nothing and be happy. Anyway, you only have to cast your eyes about to see that our current political classes have scant regard for the people who elect them, except for once every 4 or 5 years in the run-up to an election. Now, another MP putting his head above the parapet is the Reclaim UK MP Andrew Bridgen. He was on his feet for the adjournment debate on excess deaths this afternoon, and as you can see, the Commons chamber was virtually empty. They care not about the nearly 30,000 excess deaths we've seen this year in the UK alone. They just want Bridgen to disappear and take his excess deaths with him. But the public gallery was not empty. It was full of vocal Bridgen supporters demanding a proper inquiry into these excess deaths. It is normally very unusual to be able to hear those in the public gallery, but not today. And they gave Bridgen a very healthy round of applause and cheering as he ended his speech. Anyway, MPs being worried about their constituents seems to be a very rare commodity these days. Most go for the easy life of voting how their whips tell them to and asking pre-canned party-based questions at PMQs. And now we have big business making noise about supporting Keir Starmer as the next Prime Minister. Be in no doubt that's not because these corporates think that Labour will improve your lives. No, it's because they're hoping he will improve their bottom line. That's the long and short of it. But I'm just hoping that by the next general election, the reality of what a Labour government really means for the UK will start to percolate through to the ordinary voter. Richard.
The people of Britain are stupid. The events in London and across the UK celebrating the attacks on innocent Israeli civilians should have been a wake-up call to the fact that we have a dangerous imported element living amongst us, and we need to stop and reverse the importing of such an element. But no. The people of Mid-Bedfordshire and Tamworth voted for a political party, Labour, who believe in an open-door immigration policy. Now, I can see why nobody trusts the Tories with immigration, because let's face it, they might as well have an open-door immigration policy too. But the people of those respective constituencies could have voted for political representation that would have kept their children safe. And I'm afraid it's going to take some pretty horrific regular events here in the UK, and they will happen, for people to wake up to the reality of our demographical shift towards Western-hating extremism. I fear for what is ahead in this country and across Europe. I can tell you now, there will be a swing to the right, but I'm afraid it will overswing. And the extreme far right is just waiting for people to run to them. And the people will run into the arms of people who are indistinguishable to the hard left in their hatred. We get what we vote for, and we also get what we as a society allows. Now, there is a controversial little chappie who I think has been unfairly branded as far right and racist, and I have heard that this little chappie, what's his name? I think it's Ronnie, or is it Tommy? Anyway, he might be making a comeback with an old organisation of his. How true this is, I don't know. But I do know this time he and his organisation will be well supported by Brits who have had enough of the imported, fanatical, exploding demographic. But the liberal lefty establishment will be there to shut down both this individual and his organisation. The people of this country are voting for people that hate them. And that means the people of this country deserve what they vote for. Don't complain when it's your children taken hostage by extremists, when you welcomed them into your own communities and homes with your voting cards. It's our choice, right? This is a conversation we have been putting off, but recent events have forced me into it. Jeff and I really need your help because the time and costs of producing these videos, well, they're leaving Jeff and myself out of pocket. So please help support us via Patreon or PayPal. Just a few quid a month could be the difference between regular videos and just 1 or 2 a week, or doing affiliate product placements, just to keep the channel going, and that's it really. As we have seen recently with his comeback, Jeff is a stalwart and pushes himself further than most men his age ever could. And I am here to support him as much as I can. So we really do need a little bit of your help, if you can help. If you can. Right, you lot, leave your thoughts in the comment section below. And Jeff and I will have a good read of them, and maybe you can teach us a thing or two. Anyway, you look after yourselves, and God bless you all, and love to you all. Bye for now.